Hey guys, this is Bell. This is a quick guide on Rik Reverb. It's not gonna be quick, it's gonna be about 10 minutes or so, maybe a little bit over, but it's gonna cover everything you need to know about our new strategy for the boss, as well as our new positioning and all that. So let's start with looking over the abilities. All right, the abilities are kind of in a combination. So first of all, blue circles, if you get them, you have to clap on top of amplifier. To do this, you just walk over, you clap on top of the amplifier, and that removes its barrier, making it interactable. The other ability is the boss dropping amplifiers. He's always going to drop one amplifier at his location. The other one's going to target a random range player and drop it at their location. Due to this, we're going to have range stacking. We're going to go more into that over positioning. Now, the other combo of abilities is Resonant Echoes and Sound Cannon. All right. So resonant echoes, they come from the amplifiers, and if you get hit by two of them, you get mind controlled. If you get hit by one of them, you cannot soak in the sound cannon, which is the line soak. All right, because you'll get mind control again. The dot that they leave you doesn't stay very long. It just stays for 6 seconds, which is almost always enough time for you not to be able to soak into the cannon. All right, so let's look at the cannon. Sound cannon, all that this means is everyone should be soaking this every time. We don't need to split out into groups. Um, and the only people who shouldn't be soaking this is people who have the resonant echo dot on them. You can see the dot right here. That's what it looks like 3 waves. If you have this on you, you cannot soak the cannon. All right, let's go over the ability timeline. All the remaining abilities don't really matter, with the exception that you shouldn't be in front of tank, which you all know by now. So this is how the abilities are gonna happen most of the time. All right, so not most of the time, every single time, with the exception that at one point we're not gonna get intermission, we're gonna get an enrage, but after each intermission, this is gonna repeat itself. All right, so let's look at the full fight without with all abilities out is gonna be looking something like this. All right, we get another intermission after this, and then we get the main abilities again, and then after this we get enrage. All right, so this is the full fight. So as you can see, the abilities are going to be abilities exactly in the same order, intermission. Abilities exactly in the same order, intermission. Abilities exactly in the same order, enrage. Do not worry about the enrage. Echo didn't hit it, and on average they were doing around 300k per DPS less than us, and they still didn't hit the enrage. So this fight is more than killable for us with our current damage. We don't need any more damage. We're gonna be fine. Let's go over the abilities. Now I have 3 different highlights here. All right, green means it's the intermission, red means it's gonna be a difficult overlap, and yellow means it's gonna be a hard overlap, but not something that we expect to wipe us. Red, on the other hand, is gonna be the main wiper of the party. So let's go over this. At the very start of after each intermission and at the start of the fight, we get one amplifier. Followed by that is going to be bombs and swirls. This is medium difficulty because while you're doing the bombs, swirlies are also going to come out, and it's going to make it harder to dodge the swirlies because you're actively doing something else at the same time. After this, we're gonna get the soak, the sound cannon. All right. If you got hit by a swirly, you do not soak. Otherwise, you soak. How we're gonna deal with the soak is we're always gonna point it towards our ranged players. All right. Ranged are gonna be always stacked in this fight, which we're gonna go over in positioning. And where you point the soak is always gonna be on them. All right. After that, we get blue circles. In the case of the first set of abilities, there's only one amplifier, so yet 4 people are going to have the blue circles. 2 of you are going to unleash the amplifier. The other 2, you're going to clap once the amplifier is already being released and interactable, and you're going to go back to stacking with your respective groups. After these blue circles, we get 2 amplifiers from now on. One's going to go at the location of a ranged player, the other one's going to go on boss. After that, we're going to get swirls by themselves, just focus on dodging, followed by the sound cannon, which again, most people should be able to soak this one. Following that, we get blue circles. We're going to activate the 2 amplifiers that were just spawned, and then we're going to get bombs. Now these bombs are a bit harder because they sort of overlap with the next two amplifiers that drop, and because of that, you will have to pay attention to your positioning, especially as ranged and as tanks, to make sure the boss and the ranged group is in the right position, so that they don't place the amplifier somewhere else by mistake. After this, again, we get two amplifiers, and then we have the hardest overlap of the fight. Four people are gonna have blue circles, so they're gonna have to focus on activating amplifiers. The other people are gonna have to focus on bombs. So we're gonna have to focus on bombs with four people out of commission while they're doing amplifiers for roughly 5 seconds. It's gonna be very important that you guys get the amplifiers done as quickly as possible, and everyone knows exactly where they have to go, right? And for the bombs, because we are going straight into intermission after this, the bombs are gonna have to be cleared slightly faster than usual. The bombs explode as soon as the circle goes out from the boss, which means that if we still have bombs up, then even if we DPS them, most people will not make it in time to the safe spot, so that they get jumped over the circle. So we need to clear these bombs real fast, and if we do that, we should have an easy intermission, and after that, all it is rinse repeat, exactly in the same order, exactly the same thing. All right, so let's go next into positioning. This is how we start the fight. These markers are not only going to be up in this place, they're also going to be up in the arena, and you'll be able to see all of them. All right, ranged, you will be starting stacked at X. Melee, you will be going on the boss normally, and you will be following the tanks with the boss to skull. The first amplifier is always going to get dropped at skull. All right, now once that happens, melee is going to move to moon, and with boss and tanks, and range are going to stay on X, and then we're going to get two amplifiers. This time one's going to go on ranged, so this is going to be our next position. Melee are going to go to triangle, range are going to go to square, and then we're going to get into our next position. Another two amplifiers are going to drop, so our DPS are going to move over to star, and our ranged over to diamond. After this, we get intermission. In intermission, four of these amplifiers are going to activate with a circle around them. We run in the circle and we get jumped over. The keyword is 4, not 5. So that means we're going to have one amplifier left over. Now, we cannot predict where this is going to be. It's random. However, it doesn't matter where it is. If it is on skull, we just start from moon and do the same thing over. If it's on some place like, for example, triangle, all that we're going to do is we're going to go to skull first, then moon, and then we're going to avoid triangle and go to star. Same if it's like on square or X or moon. If it's on X, ranger just gonna start at blue. If it's on blue, ranger gonna start at X and then move over to purple once X has an amplifier on top of it. All right, that is the main thing. Now let's go into amplifiers and how to soak them. All right, later on in the fight, we're gonna have multiple amplifiers up. So who soaks what? Number 1, whichever tank is not currently holding aggro off the boss will be running to the farthest two amplifiers from the boss position and trying to soak them. You'll soak them until your co-tank's stacks have gone high enough to where you can return and taunt them. It's going to take a little bit of practice, but it should be a continuous back and forth. You run out, soak, taunt the boss, get back to the boss, and then taunt it, and then your co-tank is gonna run to the same amplifiers and keep them soaked. Usually the ones that are far away from the party. Alright? Other amplifiers. As soon as DPS, you clap and unlock one of the amplifiers, one of you, which is gonna need to be focal, is gonna state that they're gonna be soaking the amplifier. You soak it until it's 0 or until the fight doesn't allow you to sit there in the case of an intermission coming, right? And you're gonna soak them, and then you're gonna go back to your group. After that, if those amplifiers get high again, I'm gonna be calling on either a melee or a ranged player, and we're gonna send them over to the amplifier locations. Now, how are we gonna know which amplifier is where? Well, we're gonna set a special person to mark every single one of these amplifiers. They can be marked, and they're going to mark according to the flag that's placed on the ground. So for example, the amplifier is placed on skull is also going to be marked skull. So in your details of the fight where you can see all the amplifier energy and that, you should also see a marker on them, right? And you're going to use that marker, and you're going to know exactly where to run to. So if you see 90% on triangle, you know exactly where to go. All right. That's it. That's all with amplifiers. Most of the time, it's gonna be randomly who gets to soak what. It's gonna be individual decision making. So let's move on to bombs. All right, let's make some bombs. All right, over here, let's actually make a little page for bombs for you guys. Let's take this position right here and duplicate it. All right, you see that range are on X, boss is over here. We have two amplifiers out. All right, and that means that the next position is gonna be, this is fairly late in the fight. So now, because of our boss is gonna be constantly near this wall, it makes it so that bombs in general are gonna spawn south of the boss. All right, so around here. All right, now from the videos I've watched, it's usually a cluster of 3 bombs, right? And then the remaining bomb is somewhere like to the left or right of it. All right, so let's clear this map a little bit like this. All right, so you're usually gonna get clusters like this of 3 bombs, and then like a random bomb that's kind of like this. All right, somewhere here. This is the most common bomb position you're gonna get with this strat. Now, what are you gonna do? Let's start with range. Range, you're gonna have an assigned leader. Assigned leader is gonna be the only person pinging. They're gonna ping a bomb. Once they ping the bomb, all of you are expected to fully swap immediately, single target on the bomb. Doesn't matter what class you are, doesn't matter how good you do. It's a fight about mechanics, so you will instantly swap single target on the bomb. Parses don't matter. All right, melee. You guys, your tanks are gonna kind of get in a position where you can cleave the bombs, and you cleave the bombs with the boss. Main thing is cleave off the bombs, not off the boss. Make sure you primary target the bomb so that they take more damage and die faster. Ranged. Once you've killed your bomb off, you will look. Your leader will look if there's any remaining bombs. If there are, you're gonna switch target to those. If they're not, you're gonna go back on boss. All right. Now let's talk about alternative positions. The other positions I've seen in the videos are sometimes you get something like this, whether you have 2 cluster, 1 bomb on the other side of the boss, right? And then the rarest iteration I've seen is something like this, where you get 2 bombs out and 2 on boss. If this happens, range takes care of one and then takes care of the other. Melee takes care of melee bombs, and if range needs the help, I'll call for melee to go clear the last bomb. And this is how we're going to be dealing with bombs. All right, I will be linking this whole strat positioning guide over in this embed that you're gonna find this video in as well. And finally, I want to say a couple words. Number 1, this fight and all fights in Prague aren't about your damage. They're about your mechanical skill and listening to what the team needs and what I call out. All right, so what I expect from all of you is to look through this and understand the positioning. If you have questions, come to me, ask me the questions. I'm more than happy to go over them with you. All right? Because I want, when we start Tuesday, when we get to this boss, I want everyone to already know what the strat is, and if there's any questions, they're questions about details regarding the strat. I don't want anyone to be like, oh, I didn't watch the video. All right, if I have time to make the video, you have time to watch it, because this takes me hours to do. All right, and it takes you 10 minutes to watch. uh Other than that, I need all of you to stop thinking about parses. Don't make me get to a point where I'm not gonna log anymore, so you can't see your parses anymore. All right, or hide parses. um that said, I want you to focus on mechanics, learn what the mechanics have to do, learn the boss ability timeline, learn the positioning, understand how each ability works and it looks like, and come fully prepared with your homework done. And I promise you, we'll down this boss in under 10 pulls. Alright? It's not a hard boss fight. It's gonna be very easy if everyone knows exactly what they need to do. That said, I look forward to raiding with everyone again next time. And if you have questions, please, please, please bring them to me before then so we can go over so that we don't have to spend time on the day going over the same things. All right, that's pretty much it. I'll catch you guys during raid.